Okay, question 4. Because we got a simultaneous equation question, I would really suggest you get good with this because, as you can see, 6 marks. And the beauty of this one is you're getting 2 marks for just saying that 4 mangoes plus 3 apples is giving me 425. 4m, 3a, 425. So you get a mark for that, and a mark again for saying 5m plus 2a is equal to 470. Now, to be fair, actually, I should maybe just make sure I write it all, all lower or all upper, or be consistent. Okay, so there's 2 marks right away, and now you need to solve to work it out. So all we're going to do is write our 2 equations down. 4m plus 3a is 425. So 5m plus 2a is 470. And we need to factor those 2 equations to get the same number in front of the terms. So it's probably easier to multiply this one by 2 and this one by 3. So I'm going to call that equation A and equation B, and then I'm going to have equation 2A and equation 3B. So 2A is going to give me 8m plus 6a is 850. And this one would give me 15m plus 6a. So it's going to be 4, 8, 12. So £12 and £2.10. So that'll be £14 and 10 pence. And then the sides are the same, so I'm going to have to take them away from each other. So I think I'll do 3b take away 2a. If there were different signs, just add them together. I'll do that one, take away that one. So 15 take away 8 is going to give me 7m. 6a take away 6a is 0, so that's good. And this take away this is going to give me 560. And at this point you should think, yes, that looks quite good because 56 is in the 7 times table. To work out 1m, I'm going to do 560 divided by 7, 0, carry the 5, 5 8s are 56, so 0.80. So a mango is equal to 80 pence. Make sure you answer the question. To work out an apple, I'll just substitute that in. So I'm going to say that 8 times 80 pence, so 0.8 if you want, plus 6a is £8.50. Probably actually, you know what? No, I'll make my life even easier than that. Rather than do that equation, I'll do one of the first equations. So I'll do 4 times 0.8 plus 3 apples is 425. So that's going to be £3.20 plus 3a is 425. So take off 3.20 from both sides. That's going to be £1.05 and divide by 3. So 105 divided by 3. It's going to be 3, carry the 1, and 5. So you get 0.35. So then an apple is 35 pence. So the main thing on this is really just to make sure that you answer the question and say, what a mango and an apple actually is. That's the bit, I'll just highlight it, that's the bit that people forget here, and that is worth a mark at the end. So you're getting a mark for top and bottom, but you're getting a mark for, for these ones, 1 and 2. For this, you're getting a mark for scaling it, then for working out M and A, and then for just this communication here, you're getting a separate mark. So make sure you answer the question. Okay. It's a great question to get. 6 marks for not a lot of work, I would say. All right, question 5. Mean and standard deviation. So when we see this, we should be thinking, I'm going to have to use my formula at the front of the sheet, and I'm going to have to do my little table. The first thing I like to do is just to write it out in order, because it helps me identify patterns, and also do it for the median. So just I get into the habit of just always putting them in order. There we go, and that will help later. So you want to do your x, you want to do your x take away x bar, and you want to do x take away x bar squared, because your equation, the standard deviation, is the sum of the x minus x bar squareds divided by n take away 1 square root. You're given that formula, so don't worry about it. So the first thing we have to do is work out our mean. So to get the mean, I add all these up and divide by how many. So my mean is my x bar, so that's the sum of the x's divided by n, and that's going to come out as 26. You could show your working if you wanted. And then I'm going to do all my x's, so x's are here, just write them down. And this is why I did it in this order, because now this bit just looks a lot nicer. So 19 take away 26. 19 take away 26, that's going to give me -7. 19 take away 22, it's going to give me -3. And then you don't have to keep writing if you don't want to. I just thought I'd start off doing that. 2, sorry, -2, sorry. No, just +2, sorry, +2. +2. No, you get a reset, I'm getting confused here. Sorry, I just got my numbers mixed up there. So just to show you that, yeah. You don't have to write this all the way, but because I was doing that, I did think, oh, wait a minute, I've made a little, boo-boo. And that's, the more working you show, the more you will identify little mistakes. So this should sum up to 0. So let's see what I've got. I've got -11 and then -13. And that's 9, 10, 13. Yeah, so that's looking good. We're just going to look at that. The pattern wasn't kind of sitting right in my head, so I think I've written the 19 twice or something. So just, watch for your working, and that's why I like this in an order, because you start to see this negative to positive pattern, and then here you can see if it adds to 0. Now this column here will always be positive, so don't listen to your calculator if it tells you you've got a negative. It just means you've typed it wrong into your calculator. Okay, and if I add all that up, I should end up with 120, and then just substitute into your formula, where you say it's the square root of 120. Your n is going to be 7. 7 take away 1 is 6. So that's going to come out as 4.47. So, nice wee question. A nice little question that goes into here. Really nice question. Just got to be careful with your numbers. The way I was there, just double checking what I was doing. And if you've got a nice kind of system in place like this, you should spot any silly mistakes. Yeah. But you're given this formula, you just need to know how to write that table out. So on the next bit, let's just check my time. It says the hockey team recorded the number of sit-ups they did in a minute. So we've got a mean here, we've got an x of 29 and a standard deviation of 3.2. So that's for the hockey team. The netball team, we had the mean of 26 and 4.47. So 26 and 4.47. So that's the netball, and that's hockey. So 2 valid comments. So that's why I like to write all this, just so I don't get confused here. So let's look at the mean number then. So we're looking at mean number of sit-ups between the netball team and the hockey team. So I've got that written the wrong way. That's the hockey, isn't it? Sorry. Hockey and netball. So what do you think on average, who's doing more? On average, the hockey team are doing more sit-ups in a minute. Absolutely. And for the standard deviation, who's more consistent? Well, the lower the standard deviation, the more consistent. So the hockey team are more consistent. So if I was doing this, I'd be saying, on average, the hockey team are doing more sit-ups, yeah, and the hockey team are more consistent. So on average, they're doing more sit-ups, and that's point 1 and point 2, more consistent. You would write it out properly, yeah. You don't have to say on average for the second point, just for the first bit. On average, the hockey team are doing more sit-ups, and they are more consistent. So, yeah, I think that'll be, the hockey team's number of sit-ups were more consistent. Maybe the way you could write it out. Try and get it right into the question. Don't just say more or less. So the number of sit-ups they do are more consistent, and on average, they are doing more sit-ups. So well done, the hockey team.